what I'm going to do is I'm going to be speaking to Nicolaas first, and then I've got Jan notes, and I don't know about Eindelijk yet, but those two definitely. And then I will open boxes to the crazies. But there's no swearing in my life. Okay. Hello, Fritz. So, after all of that nonsense, how are you, friend?
I'm good, thank you.
That's
Sitting
good.
here for half an hour because we were starting at 8.
It's only 13 minutes past 8.
Yeah, but I've been sitting here for half an hour.
Well, because are you nervous?
I'm very nervous. I don't know what this thing is all about. I normally talk to Otanis and one-on-ones. There's
But
like 113 people in here.
there's 13. Hey, Gary, there is 13 people.
I'm feeling claustrophobic.
Wait, Jan. Jan, why are you nervous? Jan, okay. So let's have a chat. First of all, welcome to Ninja Talks. Since you're in the hot seat now, we gave you a little bit of a taster yesterday, so you shouldn't be nervous. Can you please tell everyone what you do for a living, since it's very long?
I'm an prosthetist. I make artificial limbs for people, arms and legs, and then all types of braces, like custom bracing for your arms, legs, back braces, neck collars, inner soles, custom insoles, diabetic shoes. Work with your walking aids, your mobility aids. That's all for people who can't walk and whatever. And then you guys have seen these rails and stuff that I put in homes for old people. So yeah. Mostly
do you do that
stuff.
too?
I don't install it. Ne? That there you must get a engineer, or how can I say, what's it, an handyman or something to install it. But we do the stuff. They send us pictures of what they've got, and then we decide what type of railing will be the best for them.
Really? I didn't know about that.
Yeah,
I thought you just did the limbs.
No, and then I don't want to diss the companies, but your hardware companies also sell those rails and so on, but they come with these little fisher plugs and stuff. Now, if you take somebody, I'm going to take myself as an example. I weigh 110 kgs. If I pull on that thing, I pull all 6 those screws out of the wall. Not the first time, but eventually it's going to come out. So you have to have decent stuff going into the wall, decent plates to hold onto it. So yeah.
Yeah, they're taking a lot of weight, like dead weight sometimes.
Yeah, no, dead weight can't grab a rail, so.
No, man, freaks sakes. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for being here. What is roll bolts with anchor plates?
Yeah, it's like
that what
a
they
decent.
called?
You get a plate already on it. I told you I'm on the PC, so sorry if I look away. So let me just check here. You can talk.
Okay.
I can do 2 stuff at once.
Can you multitask?
Yeah, I'm not like a lady.
No,
if you tell a girl to sit and relax, it's never going to happen.
Well, because you can't say the word relax.
Exactly.
Yes, he knows. Hello, Nicole. Yes, he knows what happens when you say relax. Okay.
I just want to get here. Do you see there? It's like stainless steel anchor plates. So it goes onto products like that almost, ne?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just to make sure that there's decent fixtures on the wall.
Yeah.
So that you don't see the tunny tomorrow with a fracture dip.
Speaking of, have you guys gotten sued for any of that stuff?
Uh, how do you mean sued for any of that stuff?
Okay, so we'll go through the whole process now because obviously there's a whole process to making limbs and whatever. Hello, Jan. Um, but
Hello,
have
yeah.
you never like made a limb or whatever, like whatever prosthetic it is, and something goes wrong and they fall and they get hurt or
Lots
whatever?
of guys. I'm on the lucky side. I haven't been, but I know of people that has been sued for stuff like that. But they cut corners, né? And hello, Johan. Yeah. So yeah, some people do get sued, but it's when they cut corners and then they get pak slaag. But that's why you've got insurance and all that stuff, and everything gets researched thoroughly. For example, I make a prosthetic for somebody, and this guy walks and he jumps off a boat onto what's it, a jetty or a pier, and the leg breaks. Ne? He sues me. That prosthetic is like evidence, and it gets sent away to like 3 or 4 guys that cut it open to see what type of materials I used. Did I use the right componentry for the weight limit of the patient, activity level of the patient, how many layers of carbon fiber I used, fiberglass, the correct
Yeah.
resins, all that stuff. So it gets
It's like
analyzed.
a whole investigation.
Yes, and I must say, I was in a practice where it happened once, but it wasn't me. And it turned out everything was fine. It was done by the book. Everything was correct. It was before carbon fiber was like a in thing,
Yeah.
fiberglass. And they went through the layers, and the guy did everything right. And when they investigated the guy, he was actually going to the gym with the leg, doing leg presses of like 180 kgs and so on. And the prosthetic was made for a guy who weighs 90 to 100 kilograms.
Oh my shattered nerves.
Yeah, so if he told us, listen, I go to gym and I leg press a ton, we would have made a leg for a ton.
Yeah.
Ek kan goed Engels
Oxycontin,
praat,
guys.
Sias.
I literally am like I can't even fathom that that is what people would do. I'd be so scared. Like I'd be really scared to to kind of do anything with it. Now, because when you spoke last night, I was super fascinated with the whole thing where you said like the memory or whatever you were saying, right? You'll have to speak about
Ja.
this thing because my mind was blown. So thank you guys. Sorry, the boxes are going to be opening. I'm just not doing it right now. Okay. So
I just want to check if I can open another link here. Ja.
can you? I want you to please just explain like what materials you use to make these prosthetics and how they work. Because last night, literally, I was like, what? That's insane. I told my colleague today, and she's like, what? Like, yep.
No. Ach, I'm trying to search it here on YouTube, but they don't want to explain it here for me. So they actually call it ESAR. I'll somewhat type it here at the bottom. ESAR. That stands for energy storing action returning. So when a patient puts, and Putnik, I know, I spoke to him actually. He's one of the
Okay,
amputees I
so can I
know.
put notes? Okay, if I'm going to put notes and Jan in here so that you can have a look, but please don't mute yourselves, guys, because I don't want they over talking each other. But let them first tell me what it's all about, and then I will put them in, please. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
So as soon we speak to the patients, and yeah, we try to do it in layman's terms where we explain to them in plain English so that they understand. and not all these terms I'm talking about tonight. It is to activate the foot. As soon as you put weight on the heel bends, or it stores energy. So if you look at that foot, I don't know if you can see my mouse.
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah.
But there you actually get where he heel strikes, so that little part bends up. Ne? So as soon as he offloads his weight to the heel and he moves through to the toe, that energy stores through the ankle and comes back into the toes. So when he takes his next step, the leg, I'm not going to say automatically swings through, but it gives him, it helps him to conserve energy. So because if you lose your leg, and I'm speaking under correction now, below the knee, I think you use 30% more energy just to walk. Through the knee and above the knee, up to 70% more energy, because your muscles is now all working from your glutes, your quadriceps, your hammies is now doing the function of what a knee and a calf and an ankle and a foot must do. So it needs to take over all that stuff. So that's why the energy, the energy storing and action returning is to help the patient with his normal gait. And the whole objective of our occupation, and I think with any medical professional, or let me say most of us, is to get a person back to be as normal as possible as the day before he got sick, or the day before he got injured.
So, see, my brain is still. Can you also just mention about this when you're like the way that it adjusts? Donkey. I'm like,
Okay. I think, and that's where the amputees will explain to you a bit more.
let me put them in here as well. Okay, so can Jan and Notes please request?
I'm somehow gonna.
Please, guys, let's just keep it decent, okay? Because this does go onto my social media platforms.
Where's that guy of last night?
Where's the who?
That guy from last night.
Which one?
I don't know.
Hello? Oh, there you go.
It's, you see, they pop up more videos here than
Check,
pictures.
look quickly, Nicolaas.
You've got a foot there.
Yeah.
You've got the
You've
wrong
got a
foot.
foot there. Thank you, guys. Oh, Notes has got his. Hang on, let's put them, the two of them here.
Got a click system.
Hi, Bo.
Now that his foot is also carbon fiber. I don't know what foot that is, but I normally work with Ossa. That's
I
how
can't
I
get
work with
I
foot.
can't get this I can't seem to get this off, but it's a Rush 2 foot is what I've got.
Yeah, Rush 2's are flipping cool feet.
It gives me a little bit of the leverage from side to side, like an
Is
ankle
that
would give
so?
you.
Like Jan, is it the one? So this is what I was talking about, where
Yeah.
if you
Okay,
are
so-
stepping and then it's like it evens it out.
Okay, so this is a level 5 foot. It's the most active foot below the knee.
Yeah.
Okay, so once, like it told you about the energy that goes through here, through here, it actually push, in Afrikaans, it's stoot oor jou brug.
Yes.
So it puts much more energy through here, over your ankle, this flex, and you can go over. So this foot I actually played action cricket and club cricket with.
Wow. Okay,
Mine
so
is-
both of you,
mine is-
where does, like we were talking now? So you're saying below. Where did you say, Nicolaas, is the most that you use all that energy?
Above the knee.
Above the knee.
knee, and
Above
then
the knee,
through
yeah.
the yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
so where's yours? Where are yours?
below the knee.
Two of you.
Below Below the knee.
below the knee. Below the
Okay,
knee.
so both of you are below the knee.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
Okay,
he's
so
got
is
it.
it,
I
does
think
it look
from
like
your
this?
yeah, so from from your
Okay,
knee
let me just change the
behind is
boxes
30
quick.
centimeters. From your two eyes, from your knee below is 30 centimeters that they amputated.
You've got a nice long stump, but
Yeah, no, because it's just like actually my foot was fucked. Sorry,
yeah.
Hey!
No,
sorry,
no. The thing
sorry.
is, and
Sorry.
I'm gonna say now, I had a patient whose foot was actually amputated through the ankle, and it was such a difficult prosthetic to make because the thing thins out so much at the bottom that
Yeah.
I need to work down there, and I can't. I can't get
Okay.
my fat fingers in there.
Okay, but now I got two other new legs that I got from Otterbach from Australia. So I got three legs from Germany, two legs from Australia that they made for me. So the end of the
Who
day
makes them
is
for you?
okay. This one I actually can take out. The other ones is fully automated, so it's sealed. So I can shower, I can climb in the sea, I can go swim.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so the one that I wear now, the other one I actually can take off, but
Sorry,
I don't
notes.
want to take it off. I don't want to take it off now because it's actually quite a new leg, so I don't want to disrupt this now because this is just like a foot cover. That's
Yes.
to put your shoe in. Okay, but all of my legs is your high level leg, like it's a level 5 that I've been taught in 12 years. So it's giving high energy out. And it's all going about this.
Yes. And your toes
Does
is
it look like this though? Like where the
no.
two?
No, his foot hasn't got a split toe, but it's
Okay.
because
I do
he's like
got my other one, but my other one is a split toe.
yes, but this foot is made for him. Like he said, he played cricket and all that stuff with it. So
More balanced.
yeah, the more moving parts, the more chances there is of breaking. So if you look at this foot that he's got there, it hasn't got 100 moving parts. It's just got the heel blade attached to the toe blade attached to the ankle.
So what's happening from this side is pushing the energy through to go over your
Your arch. Arch.
The
to
arch.
go over your arch. Once you're on your arch, this part is much more flexible to go like that.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Like when you look at it like that, it doesn't look like it could be comfortable and like walk when you're walking how it would move.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but me
remember
and
you
you,
got this. Now
yeah,
you got like a foot part that's fit your shoes that looks like a toes
Yeah.
and
you
it looks
even
like a
get
foot.
you even get ones now, and I hear you are Otterbach
Boy
fan.
notes here.
No, I'm not an Otterbach fan. That is like what I get.
Yeah, you got all these years.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
mine
but
is a
Otter,
little different than his. His has the
Yeah.
bolt. Mine is a suction based prosthetic.
Okay.
So
With a
I've got
release
a
valve. Okay. So myself, and I did had that. I had started to get problems. Put me in a big box quickly. So what happened is, I'm going to show you quickly. I'm going to remove quickly something. Okay. So myself had when I played cricket, club cricket. So what happened is I got sweaty on my thing. So I lost my leg of sweating because the release valve. So what they did about 4 years ago.
Do you mean lose your leg like you're busy playing and it
Totally.
flings off?
Listen, I ran and I lost my leg.
it
So
come
what
off.
they did is they did the click system. So this is a new sleeve that I got actually about a month ago. So this is actually attached in there. You won't be able to take it off.
if that
This
thing
is
clicks once,
insane.
So
if it clicks once, then the amputee, the patient knows it's safe.
it's safe, yeah. So once I want to take my leg now off, there's no suction, there's nothing. So this silicone is attached to my leg. In the end of the day, and trust me, it's glowing, eh? It's sucking a shitload. And then once
But
I want to
doesn't it
release,
hurt?
no,
No.
nothing. Once I want to release, I press that and it releases.
So it's just a
Right.
small clutch holding onto a pin.
Yeah, so that's basically that's action.
But we had it wasn't a patient of mine. That guy actually landed up in hospital after a motorcycle accident, and he had a vacuum system like notes. It
Yeah,
was a motorcycle accident, and his one leg, his normal, the sound side, that's how the side that wasn't amputated. He could take off the motorcycle, but the prosthetic leg got caught on the motorcycle and it dragged him for I don't know how
Oh my
many
gosh.
meters. That suction held onto his leg. So the suction really works, but you need a patient to trust the suction. And what happened to Jan is you do not
sweaty.
trust the suction if it comes
No.
loose once.
Yes, because what happened is I played cricket in heat, so you wear long pants on cricket and you get sweaty. So then you run and you feel okay. I can't control it. With this, I can control it.
Yeah.
So once I feel okay, something is getting loose, even if it's on my leg and it is the silicone, I can bring myself and say, okay, it's not the leg, it's it's my silicone itself. I need to go off, go put quickly a new one on because any amputee need to have at least 1 to 4 of them to change in the heating time, and then you put a new one and you go carry on. The suction, what's happening if that suction fails at the bottom, and it's like a little sponge there, and that thing fails.
See that?
Now you're gonna
Are
lose
you
a
putting your
leg.
hand up to say something
Are
or are
you
you
are
pointing?
you are you wanting a turn, Notes?
I'm pointing. Right
Okay.
above my finger
Oh,
Oh,
is a Stompy stand with a different
a
liner on it.
Stompy stat.
That's what
yeah.
Jan,
I call it.
wasn't your name on TikTok Stompy at one stage?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So
Oh, then you'll love my
what
song.
I experienced also, to be honest with you, with the suction. So suction. Okay, if you put it quickly, okay, I'm gonna show now something graphic, but
You
they
can't
will
show
understand
something
it.
graphic. I'm gonna get
Okay.
nanted.
No. So with the suction, once you got suction, now luckily I'm skinny. Okay. Once you got suction, all this fella is pulling. So it's getting flubbier. That's what
So it
suction is
like it
doing after a
stretches your
while.
skin.
Yeah. So once I got the pin section, it doesn't sucks anymore all this stuff there.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So that's why they changed it because it's getting like a blob. If you
Yeah,
understand
I
what
know what
I'm
you're
So
talking
saying.
like the
about.
suction that pulls
Yeah.
there.
Yes.
It's only soft tissue that's there. There's no more
Yeah.
structure
Muscle.
to hold on to. Yeah.
Nothing.
Well,
So
So
the
I'm
that's
suction is
why
just
that
pulling
happened
in
with
the
me.
soft tissue, the flesh.
Yeah. Yes. That's why they changed me because I was very active. They changed me to the pin section.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
all my below knees I go for pins. My above knees I go for vacuum.
Yeah, vacuum. Yeah.
Yeah. But below knees I do pin because the guys climb on ladders. I work in a mining community, so
Okay, like me, I was working the same in the mine after my leg. I was working in the mine for 6 years. I'm working now in construction, doing leather, going on roofs, going construction. I do what
then
I
you
can do.
then you
They need
want
to
your
provide me
you
to get me
want to
active
know
while I
exactly.
am.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
the
notes.
suction, at the end of the day, it's unreliable in my opinion.
Okay,
for
but
Because
me,
some of
notes, what
it,
is your lifestyle like? Have you found any issues with yours?
the problem with suction is if you don't notice holes in your liners, then you'll start to get what's called slippage. And when you
Yeah.
get slippage, then it rubs wounds onto your skin.
And
That's
then
the
Yes.
it gets
problem that
sore.
I've found. But
And then it gets sore.
a lot of times though, that is from my lack of paying attention when I know I need to.
Yeah.
So I
To
have as
rechange.
soon as you see a hole, you change the liner and you're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Um, I will say that my foot is a little bit different than yours, Jan. Mine has the blade.
No, I've got
Uh,
actually one like that. I actually got a
yeah,
one like that. I can show
I
you.
can't.
No, I got a
The
one
foot
like
is
that.
too hard to take off. This thing is like stuck on here. But I have the same piece back here, right? But
Yeah.
mine
Mine
is a
is
blade
just
that
not that
comes down with
high,
the.
but there's my curve already. It's hollow. It's hollow there. It's just a
So
shorter one than yours.
so the mine is called a Rush 2. I know that this is activity 5, foot and leg. Um,
So you
I
both have got fives. It's just different brands.
I had a 4 at one time, but
Okay.
when they saw how much I was getting around,
Yeah.
they moved me to a 5 with the new leg, and I was actually able to jog for the first time in 5 years when I got this leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Um,
This is
the
just the
pro-
liner
Wow.
that Note said. How the
Yeah,
liners
let me
gets
have a look here
damaged.
quick.
This
Oh,
this one
Yeah.
is now
wow.
this is a locking liner, like
Yeah.
what Jan's got, but that's just the
Mine exactly the
damage
same.
that happens around the socket. So because the carbon fiber, we make a soft inner liner to protect that thing as long as possible. But still, that's the damage you get. And with vacuum, if that hole happens there, then you lose
Here's my
vacuum.
liner. Yeah. So here's my
Yeah.
liner as well. Here's the liner inside.
The soft inner, yeah.
The
Okay,
soft
but
inner.
I want
Yeah.
to know now, like, is this comfortable for you guys to wear?
Very. So
yes,
with
it's
my
it's
experience, suction 4 hours, I must be off my leg. Suction 4 hours, I need to at least rechange my sleeve and top because then I'm getting sores on top. It's irritating my skin, and I need to rechange my liner on top. With my pin suction, I can go in a heater day. That's good 32 degrees in South Africa. I can go the whole day. It sucks. And then luckily they did just put me in the big box, so they modified me a little bit. I'm a little bit skinny on that stage. So what I did is they put
Mickey
windows in.
Mouse Clubhouse.
Yeah. So I've got a window here. I've got a window here. And I got no, okay, and this one I just got 2 windows. And the other one I got 4 windows. Okay. The new one they just put me 2 windows in. So I got like this thing. So as in the morning, you're much bigger. As the heat go on, you lose volume. So once I lose volume, I press it in and I can adjust myself now and say, okay, I need a little bit more pressure.
It does this.
It tightens in myself. So once come 2 o'clock the afternoon and it's heated, I can lock myself in and say, okay, I'm a little bit loose now. I can still go. So I got no eruption between the sleeve and my skin. That's
Check
doing
the
this.
valleys.
whereas suction, you have to put sleeves on, you have to put socks on your
Yes.
stumpy in order to close
No,
the
no, no.
distance. No, I'm
No,
saying for
no,
the
no, no.
suction. I'm saying for the suction
Oh,
version.
for the suction, you get actually the socks. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to put the
The
socks
white
on.
socks.
But
Yeah.
You get socks.
what I do is I usually carry some type of like small towel with me, like
Yes.
the ones that dry out easily. And every once
Yeah.
in a while,
Like the,
when I
what is
go
it
to the
called? The
restroom,
micro, is it micro, the microfiber
microfiber.
ones?
No, it's not really a mug. It's a
Let me
stompy
see.
sock. Yeah, it's a stompy sock.
But
Yeah.
So
I carry like a microfiber rag with me, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
And
just as, in case.
I'll carry I usually carry like alcohol wipes.
Yes.
So when I
Yeah.
dry myself off, and I dry my liner off, then I'll wipe it down with alcohol and wipe my leg down with alcohol and then put it back on. It can be somewhat of a chore, but I don't know anything other than the suction. And it's been
Yeah.
good to me. So
How long have you been an amputee for, though, and how long have you had the suction? Has it been the whole time you've
the
had the
whole
suction?
time, and I got my first prosthetic the day before COVID shut down in March of 2020.
There's your
So
2020.
I learned
Oh,
everything on
Okay,
my
so you're
own.
longer than me.
I learned everything on my own.
wow.
So
What's the
all my
difference here,
rehabilitation,
Nicholas?
Okay, but to be honest with you, if you're very active, and I'm going to talk to you as an experienced guy, I was on the suction for 4 years. I started to have that drop of the suction. I lost my leg. And like you said, I did lose confidence on it. Once I went to the click system, um, my life actually got much better. I didn't have that varying of the source anymore. I think in the 12 years, I had like one drugs year between Vibram, and and that was on the suction. With the click system, never before. What's like about the click system is easy to release, it's easy to take the leg off. And a lot of time, I'm in the office, pull the leg off, take the silicone off, put it on a table, under the aircon, it dries out, put it on, there you go again.
the the thing for me that's changed recently though is um, I had a blister on my left foot because I'm
Okay?
right leg amputee. So
Are
now
you
I have one of
okay? Right.
these.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and
toe
but
insert.
Nicholas, you make those too, right?
Yes. That's a
What's
toe
that?
So
insert.
Aaron.
this is a custom insole with a toe filler
Yeah.
because in June of last year, I left in April from
Okay.
South Africa because I had infection in my left foot,
Okay.
and I had two surgeries in April. Of course, the smart doctors didn't listen to me when I said do an MRI to make sure you got all the bone infection. They didn't. 2 months later, I had another surgery and they did a transmetatarsal amputation. And
Okay.
so I got
Sorry,
one of
how do you
these.
get an infection in the bone?
Okay. So with diabetes, you're,
Okay, so you lost your leg to diabetes, basically.
yes.
Okay.
So,
Diabetic patients, I just want to, sorry, I'm following you in the rede here. But diabetic patients, if you start feeling pins and needles or losing feeling in your lower legs and your arms and hands, you'll also see a loss of hair. Then you can go for a sugar test to see if you're diabetic because it means there's less blood flow, less feeling. So, like he said, he had infection in his foot, or you injured your foot with a blister. So for diabetic patients, it takes so much longer to heal. And I can't ask this guy to do walk on his hands for the next 3 weeks just to get his foot to heal up. So yeah, the doctors actually need to do.
capillaries in them, they're very small blood vessels.
And it clogged
And
up
when you
so
start
good.
to lose feeling, the capillaries start to pass away too. But your blood isn't filtered well enough because it's so far away from your heart. So when you get infection, it makes it easier. The infection, okay, so let's say it like this. The marrow in your bone is like candy
Yeah.
to infection,
Yeah.
right? And it literally will drill through your body to get to the bone marrow. And as a diabetic, once that infection gets into your marrow, it will devour your bone. I had a toe removed, and literally the doctor said it had been in there for months because when he took it
Open
off,
it.
the bone crumbled to dust.
Yeah.
And he said that doesn't happen in a couple of weeks; that happens over months. But my point is um, you once it gets into the marrow, The only thing IV antibiotics will do is prevent it from spreading further, faster, right? It doesn't remove the infection because once it's there, it's just reproducing and
But just a
reproducing.
question quickly. What do you do for blood circulation to your leg?
What's that?
What do you do for blood circulation? So I I had a situation with somebody that actually meet up with me, and they said on their stompy, they got their pins and needles. So automatically it wasn't the nerve pains. It was blood circulation. So they got pins and needles. So the blood circulation was very bad for them. So so for my understanding, what you say is you also got a little bit bad blood circulation that goes down to your stompy that needs to return. Because remember, we differently abled now. I like the word differently abled, not disabled, but we differently abled. So what do you do for your, if you feel your stomp is like, yes, there's pins and needles now, this thing is not lacquer today. What do you see? What do you do just to do some circulation to
Are you
come,
talking
your
about like
blood
for ghost
circulation? Yeah.
pains? Are you talking about for like ghost pains?
No, okay, ghost pains I don't
No,
get
just the
anymore.
blood circulation.
So the
Blood
neuropathy,
circulation.
the no,
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of things. What I was taught is, I don't know if they that my prosthetician told me when I first had the amputation and was
Okay,
preparing for the prosthetic. He gave me a newspaper
okay.
and he told me to pat my leg. But he also said if you feel like you're not getting
Feeling.
circulation,
Yeah,
to just
feeling. Yeah.
take your hands upon your
Okay.
stump and kind of massage it a little bit, but
Rub
also
it.
do like normal exercises that you would do. Like
Chris, do you
Yeah.
want to come in the box,
That's
because
what I
the
want
please?
to ask you.
more you
Yes.
move, the more your blood flows. It's like with my diabetes. If
Okay.
if I
So,
feel like my blood sugar's high,
Okay, just wait for notes to just guys, one at a time, please.
okay.
Notes, sorry, please finish.
so if I feel like my blood sugar's high or I'm a little bit sluggish, I'll put my leg on and I'll just go walk the block. You know what I mean? Not
Yes.
run or anything. Just walk. Make your body more active. Your heart starts to pump blood faster,
Yeah.
and then it will eventually kind of force its way there.
Yeah, it does. It does.
So
So,
I just
my
wanted to see it. Chris, are you here? Do you want to join a box, Chris? From a medical point of view, because we've got Nicolaas here as well, but it's nice to have you from like the other point of view,
From the doctor's side.
the
so
Instead,
doctor
from
side
my,
of
when
things.
what I experienced when I got disabled, I think this was my first year. So my first year that I was disabled, phantom pains, my auditors already said to me, it's actually a brain cell that's actually active still to state you still got a leg. Remember, and that's what, okay, I'm just speaking what I've been taught. So your body still states that you got full ligaments, that, or else you won't be able to walk. So your brain is function still, you got both legs. Okay, but there's a other cell in your brain that states you got feeling. Now that cells you can control. So that I did control. I don't get phantom pains anymore because that cell in my brain got dead. Because I
But how
actually
do you control that though?
manipulate your brain.
you
You
have
actually
to
just
okay. So
meditate. I don't get phantom pains anymore.
if I have
Okay, but I just
phantom
wanted to speak
pains,
quickly the whole thing. Okay, so end of the day, so after 6 months, I got like numb on my stomping, and I told my then it's if I walk, it's got numb. Then I got difficult to walk because suddenly I can't do that because my stomping got numb. Then it said it's blood circulation. Suddenly, after 6 months of my operation, I've got blood circulation. And that's where you came and said, pump it. And do you know what did work for me? You won't believe. Squatches, up and down. I
Okay.
took my leg up, I put my
Squats.
leg up, down. As if
Okay.
I pumped my leg with blood. That's maybe something
Is
you
that
can try.
when you
That
say
worked for
that?
me.
Is that like the energy that you're referring to from pushing on the heel?
It's to get
No,
your
no,
heart
no.
rate up.
My heart rate.
By
So I
doing
didn't
by
just
doing the
go walk, I
squats.
went crutches. I went up, down, up, down, up, down. And suddenly I got feeling back.
So so
Wow.
when I have had phantom
Okay.
pains, the one thing I was taught is if you have phantom pains, so here's my stump, right? If I have
Yeah.
phantom pains, then what I do is I put my hand here and I rub. So and I look with my eyes. So it tells my brain that it's no longer there. So how am I feeling this?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
your
what?
brain thinks that the nerves are still there, so it's still sending these sensations
Yeah, the
through.
sensations.
Yeah,
Look, your
because
brain will always tell you got a leg.
Nicholas?
it's
Nicholas,
like
what were you saying? Sorry?
I'm gonna say we've got the N4 highway now here. So now the N4 highway gets cut off by Pretoria, but the people from Rustenburg still needs to get to the Kruger National Park. So the signal is still there to get there,
Yeah.
but it's now been cut off. You can't get there, but your brain still tells you take the N4. That's the way to go to the Kruger National Park. But now it's been
I
cut
love
off.
the explanation.
What I
The
with
metaphor.
with phantom pains, and it's nice. I love hearing from other people, ne? Especially experienced guys. I normally told my patients get a long mirror, put it in between your legs, and then this foot is no longer here. But if you do movement with this foot, it's gonna mirror it in that foot. But do the action on your amputated foot also. Bend your toes, né? Because it's still the feeling is there. So you manipulate your mind by my foot is still there, and I'm moving it and I'm stretching it. But you actually need to do like a hard exercise on it, like stretch your calf and so on. And
Okay.
then
Put me
yeah,
on a big box. Okay. Exactly what you
I
said.
just
Put me on a
also
big
want to
box.
just quickly listen though. Chris, how much time do you have here? Are you at work?
I am at work and I'm about to teach here shortly. So, but the connection that he's talking about with the circulation is called a deep venous arterialization. So,
Yeah.
like if you lose your foot, we attach the tibial artery to the deep vein to bring it back. So, most of your blood supply that's lost is anterior. So, it'll be closer to the skin as opposed to the center because our objective is to keep the bone alive.
Yeah.
So, that's
But
a
like
pain in the
me, I
Now
butt.
don't got
that's
phantom pains anymore. My phantom pains is about 5 years now. Nothing. It's gone.
and
Yeah, your
so
capillaries have
Notes was
rerouted into
saying
new
earlier before you came in, he got an infection in the bone. Was it
Yes,
last year,
that's.
Notes?
Yeah, in April I
Did they tell you
left
what disease it was?
Northwest. It was a gaseous gangrene staph infection in
Okay,
my
so
foot.
that happened during closure. Gangrene is a uh, what's the word? Anaerobic bacteria. So it's without air is how it grows. So oxygen actually kills it. So that actually is a wound that grows inside of a wound. So when they close it up, that's one where they didn't clean properly when they probably amputated you and they left something behind. And that
Well,
anaerobe
no, that was
grew.
from a
So that's
blister. That was from a blister.
When he was here in South
gee
Africa
blister.
last
Holy
year.
cow.
So it was staph in the foot, right, in the blister. But when I
Yeah.
left, I had to fly back to America to get treatment. So I wrapped my own foot, and literally, not only did I wrap it in gauze and whatnot, I put a bag over it, right, and sealed it
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't want to take a chance of leaving that somewhere behind, nor did I want that odor on a plane flight to be able to get out because it's very, very
To give y'all an
recognizable.
idea of a smell similar to it, imagine the most rancid cheese you've ever smelled. Monster cheese times 8 is what gangrene smells like. It's when we were in the military, we would sniff each other's wounds.
No.
Listen. Listen. As a diabetic and having multiple foot problems, I have been fighting with blisters on this foot because I came back after my transmetatarsal amputation in August of last year, and as soon as I landed in Abu Dhabi, for my connector flight, I had another blister, although it was more superficial, and I decided to stay. But the reason that I knew to leave last time, I was like, okay, I'm making a plan to leave. I know this is getting bigger. It's not getting better. So I made a plan to leave. And the only reason that I left with infection is because 24 to 36 hours later, I went to change my bandage and the odor was so bad, I knew. So I had to call my brother and I said, look, you've got my travel agent. I need a flight tomorrow. So we paid extra to fly me out because it's the only way I could get treated. I'm not going to a public hospital here or a government hospital here.
My old facility, we used to get imports from all over the world. It was one of the largest level 1 trauma facilities in the entire country. And we would see people like that. And
best
people
treatment
don't realize what
in South Africa
diabetes is how bad untreated diabetes is. You know, like look at what rock candy is made out of. Sugar. It hardens. So when you have unchecked diabetes and you have sugar all over your inside of your thing, you ever notice how like molasses and everything like that, it makes your blood very viscous. So then it starts to crystallize, and then that's where the circulatory damage comes from. Your capillaries can only take so long. It's similar to a sickle cell patient. Once it crystallizes, it's almost similar to that pain of sickling inside the capillaries, which is excruciating.
Chris, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Like on the diabetics and somebody that's underweight, because I feel the diabetics underweight is safe. I'm a smoker, so I got my orthotist. What's the English word?
Prosthetist.
Prosthetist.
This
one. So if you're a smoker, like if you like a diabetic, your veins, do they really?
Yeah.
Does it affect you so much? Do you need to stop smoking?
Please.
May I, Chris?
So imagine
Please
you were in a
wait,
situation
Chris
where you were in
answer,
a
please.
when you were in a building that's on fire. Okay. Think about what that does to your lungs and your everything like that. Okay. So what it does is it attaches to an area of your red cell on the hemoglobin. It's called met hemoglobin, and we test for it for fire victims that are in there.
Yeah, if
you're doing that in small doses for an extended period of time, that's what causes the issue. Your blood can't transfer oxygen. If an organ doesn't have oxygen, it eventually dies.
It does, yeah.
One and one is three. That's what
cells.
Right.
So stop
your
smoking.
Red cells are limited in transferring oxygen because of methemoglobin being bound, and you're coating your areola inside of your lungs at the same time. That's where your COPDs and your stuff like that come from. So, yeah, I quit smoking.
Why I'm asking, about now 3 years, I was never a bleeder, never. So I will cut myself, I'll bleed like a normal person. I can have the smallest cut that I got now. It seems like the whole body wants to bleed out.
I'd have to know what also
there was
what
a
the
doctor
medications you're on as well.
No, nothing. I'm seriously on no medication. Okay. Now they say it's because of I'm smoking. That's why I'm a bleeder now. Because seriously, I can cut myself and I can't stop a bleed. I seriously need to take super glue, and I can show you. I got super glue here. If I cut myself,
you super glue yourself.
He's
Yeah.
a bush mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to a third world country, Chris, where we super glue ourselves.
Yeah, no.
Well-
So the reason it's doing that is because
But
the
as soon
smoke
as
is
start
also
smoking.
causing other issues inside of your venous walls and everything like that, because they're not able to heal as fast. And it's probably affecting what we call your ACT, which is your activated clotting time.
Okay.
I can get into a coagulation cascade that's very intensive, a lot of science, but any piece of that causes. So you have self-inflicted hemophilia. Think of it like that. One of your clotting factors is being altered because of the smoking, which causes excessive bleeding.
Okay.
So you've made yourself into a patient similar to having like a patient that we have that has Christmas factor. It's just because we call that particular thing the Christmas factor, but if they bump their nose, they bleed for an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to give them plasma transfusions. So if you're excessively smoking, then you will cause fragility in your capillary and your venous walls, and that's what's causing your excessive bleeding. So you're losing your coagulation abilities.
Yeah, because I did
Is
went
that
one
not,
time
Chris,
ago,
is that
actually
not
donate
why?
blood, and they said no more. You're never allowed to sponsor blood again.
Yeah.
Never.
But is that not when you go for surgery, they say to you, they always ask you if you're a smoker and they tell you like you can't
Oh, yeah.
smoke.
One of my
Especially
friends,
before an
Todd,
operation,
Dr.
if all
Balad, he
else
told
fails.
me
Yeah.
that's why I quit. He told me he wouldn't give me the operation if I smoked. He goes, I'll just let you die.
I was
Because
never
the
a
risk of
bleeder.
bleeding is going to be
It's
too
the
much
last
for that
2
surgery.
years.
So I was like, okay.
But
See, that's
but I
that's
was
what
give
I
them
never
heard. You know
much.
how we all go and watch these weight loss things, and I know that's what I wanted to ask with you as well, because they all those surgeries they say.
I'm a believer.
It will.
Once.
It sir will. It will. It has for
Well,
me, but
well,
I
It's
miss
just
it.
leading you to a healthier life.
I straight up miss it.
No,
What's that?
it happened the last 2 years. Seriously, I cut myself, and it's like scheme is like I've got for the whole South Africa blood here, and then I just super glue everything close.
One cigarette less every day is better for you than another one.
Okay.
The thing can only get worse. If you
Okay,
fill
but
a
I'm
cup
very
with
active.
water, eventually it's going to overflow. But if you stop filling it with
Smoker. I've smoked since I was 19, so 30 years. I'm also a type 1 onset insulin dependent diabetic with no pancreatic function. I have hypothyroidism, Chris, and I take 300 micrograms of levothyroxine a day, and I have ulcerative colitis, to say the least. So I have 3 autoimmune deficiency disorders. But what I'll say
chicken
is
Nicolaas's
that so
what?
so smoking actually shrinks the lining of your blood vessel walls. Okay. But not only that, when you have diabetes, your red blood cells break down sugar, and your insulin breaks down sugar and delivers it to your red blood cells. But if you don't produce insulin, your kidneys can't.
Function
Your
as normal. Yeah.
it,
Yeah, I do understand
no,
what you said. Yeah.
it doesn't filter
Yeah.
sugar. So, but not only that, if insulin isn't breaking it down, then it's sitting in your arterial walls, which also damages them and shrinks them even more. That's why you find a
Yeah.
higher risk of heart attack and blood disease from
Okay, but
smoking and diabetes.
okay, but now my question is, lately what I got is, I was hospitalized because I was underweight. I was 17 kilograms underweight for my dinner, and I didn't realize it. And they said I burned too much energy, and they said regards to, and that's what Nicolaas said. Yeah, you burn that much energy, but I still chow. I ate what I need to eat in the morning at night, but I lost suddenly a shitload of weight. Just suddenly, in the
Jan,
last year, I lost like 20 kgs. I mean, I'm 42, I'm weighing 52 kilograms.
okay, Jan, luister vir my
holy heck.
asseblief, okay? When I was 19 years old, my thyroid was overactive. I was 6'5.5", so basically 2 meters, right? But I was 130 kilos,
Okay.
and my thyroid became overactive. My pulse was 150. My blood pressure was 300 over 200, sleeping, and I had a goiter half the size of a tennis ball that was out of my neck, and I had lost 35 kilos in 2 months. And it was because my
Holy hell.
thyroid was too fast. So they had to give me a treatment to get rid of my thyroid, which is why I'm now hypothyroid. But the
Okay,
thing
but I do
is,
understand what you're saying, but now they're saying everything is okay with me.
Yeah, but
They say
just hang on
everything is
a
okay with
second.
me.
Notes just quickly finish and then we'll go back to Jan.
Okay.
so so number one, you need to have your TSH and TSH free check.
Yeah.
Free, FREE. Okay.
Yes.
That's your thyroid. That could be one of the problems. It could just be out of whack a little bit. So you're losing weight slightly. The other thing is that I'm insulin to my version of diabetic where you have no pancreatic function, and being hypothyroid as bad where my thyroid doesn't work. Generally, you're overweight. But for the past 25 years, for some reason, I have been 110 to 115 kilos the whole time. They cut my leg off. I lost 10 pounds. Within 2 weeks, I was back to the same weight. It was strange. Strange. I don't know what it is. Like I don't fluctuate like this. I stay like this. Doesn't matter how much I eat. But what I will tell you about when my thyroid was overactive, I could eat, go to the toilet after 10 minutes, and then go back and eat another full meal. It was like that over and over, but I wasn't gaining weight. I was losing it because you digest food, right, over time. And if it goes through your digestive system too fast, your body doesn't have time to pull the nutrients out. And then the waste leaves. So, but that could be another reason that could be affecting your blood clotting because the thyroid is a version of an autoimmune deficiency disorder. It can affect things like that. Your thyroid affects your growth, your
Yeah.
heart rate,
Heart
your
rate,
endocrine system, your blood flow, all of those
everything.
things. I wear an insulin pump. If I do not take my thyroid medicine in the morning, my insulin works at about 60% efficiency.
Okay,
So
Chris,
now I
have
just
you
want to
got
explain to
something
you.
to
Have you?
add before you go?
I just want to explain, okay. So I
Yeah.
went to the doctor 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I
can
did
I just,
seven.
sorry, Jan, I'm going to keep interrupting you. I'm so sorry. Chris needs to leave in a minute. He's going back
Okay,
into a
but I
Oh,
call.
want
so
Chris
I just
invite.
quickly want him to say what he needs to say.
I want
Pardon,
Chris
Chris?
invite him well
diabetes with
as well.
hyperthyroidism. Have you been tested for Hashimoto's or Graves' disease? Have you had
Yeah,
any
yes,
tests like that?
I did. So what happened is 3 weeks ago I went for 7 blood tests.
Wait,
They
I
test my
can't hear what's
pancreas.
happening. Chris,
They test
what were you saying?
I was asking if poetic is that it? Have you had
Yeah, notes.
any genetic testing? Graves, Hashimoto's, your let's see, your ANA, any tests like that?
yes, I was tested for Graves, Hashimoto's, all of that, Yashimoto, all that stuff was done before they did the what caused my thyroid condition, Chris, is I was misdiagnosed with bipolar manic depressive, and they put me on 1,800 milligrams of lithium a day for about a year and a half. And when you have I know now that when you have a slightly affected thyroid in some way, that lithium will actually accelerate the effects. So,
Putting a type 1 on lithium, that's just ridiculous. That's
yeah.
absurd.
but I
I'm
wasn't,
sorry. I'd punch that
my
doctor. Sorry.
my diabetes was actually caused because when they did the radioactive iodine treatment for my thyroid, it shocked my pancreas and it killed my pancreas. So that's when I became diabetic. I was not born with the diabetes; it's onset from the thyroid condition. So now all I take in medicines, or I take vitamins. I take 300 micrograms of levothyroxine, and I'm on an insulin pump with Humalog insulin. So I refuse to take any kind of other medicines. At one time, I was on 13 and I had a stroke, and I said, I'm done with that. And so I haven't had any problems
Last time you
since.
had your free T3, free T4, and TSH done.
Oh, I have an endocrinologist back home. It was just a few months ago. It was normal.
Awesome. That's outstanding. Very cool. Yeah, keep it under wraps, man.
Crazy.
But Chris, I went from an A1C of 14 to 15 for 10 years to the last time I came back from when I came back from South Africa, my A1C was the lowest it ever been at 7.5.
Yeah, so you still keep coming back here.
And then when I go back to America, it jumps up to 10 because
It's
of all
because
the
our food is
steroids in the
garbage.
food. It's
It's our
stuck with
food's garbage.
steroids.
Yeah.
It's stuck with
Yeah.
steroids. And the one thing that will raise a diabetic's blood sugar besides sugar is steroids. You don't put diabetics on
Did you eat a
steroids.
lot of fast foods when you were here?
When I'm here, no, I buy
Yeah.
food from the market and I cook. I'm not a big fast food eater. I am a
In
cook
South
my own
Africa,
food.
I mean. So
Yes.
in South Africa, okay, so you should just live in South Africa then.
Yeah, if I was allowed to just do that, I would.
But how come you're not buying fresh food and things in the US then?
If I go to a butcher in the US and get
Yeah.
USDA food, number one, it's still stuffed with steroids. They are putting it into the live cows to make them bigger, so,
Steroids, yeah.
so they get more money per pound of flesh.
The cow grows
And we
quicker.
don't do that?
No, we
No.
do it. Yes.
I know they do it with chickens.
No. Let me tell you. No. Let me tell you. If you go to a KFC in America, a breast is this big in America. You buy it at KFC here, it's this big. The chickens are half the
Yeah,
size in
everything
South
is bigger
Africa.
and better in America, you know.
No, but they grow a chick. They grow a chick into a big chicken in literally a month.
We do it at least over 3 months.
Yeah, that's why if I buy my food, it's from Bubba up the road. I buy all my stuff like. Yeah.
No,
I live out in the
Okay, so
country.
my father works for a chicken farm, okay, like a big one, yeah. And we had issues with chicken and everything here in South Africa. There was a lot of issues, and importing and exporting, whatever. And I know during that time, not the farm that my dad is at, but other farms, because they were battling to get food to feed the chickens. The things that they were doing were super dodge. So I'm very glad that ours is healthier than yours, but still dodge.
Well, a lot of the American companies that do chickens, they will take chickens and put them in a pen. They leave the lights on 23 hours
Yeah.
of the day and just feed them. And the chickens will eat as long as the lights are on. So they
Yeah.
just go bloop. But in the
So
food,
here, yeah, there was a strike that they had here. The staff were striking because they wanted to get paid more. They're one of the highest paying, like, employees in the industry, in that industry, right? They now go and they switched all the lights off and all the chickens died like this. All
Well,
of them.
because it's a shock to their system.
Yeah.
so
It's
the thing
crazy.
I'll say about this foot that I've had problems with. So I came back in August and had to leave in November. preventative to make sure, because I had that blister, that I didn't go through infection again. So I went back. I did excessive wound care, right? And now the wound is healed. I had a blister while I was in America right next to it on the other side that never opened. It stayed closed and it healed on its own. So my foot is healed, right? And it is the first time I have ever had a wound on my one of my feet that have healed on their own without having to be amputated. So it means,
Wow.
and I'm doing most of, I go once a week for wound care, but I'm doing all the bandaging, all the applications during the week and everything like that. So it's a testament to how my blood flow is still good in my left leg, as to where in my right one it wasn't. But
So
I'm
you don't have to go back to America then for now. You're still good.
I'm good for right now.
You need to
The
go
the
visit this one.
but
He's
the
right by you,
insole
remember?
but the insole is what's helping me a lot. That place that I kept getting blisters at has actually
Yeah.
a dip in it that allows it to sit in, so it's not just
Bye.
pressing, because it was pressing. Once the sole of the shoe wears out, your foot is just trauma against hard ground. And my foot,
That's why I wanted to know if it was sore. Like, like you guys are saying it's not now. But when you first, like now, so Nicholas, when you go and you first put it on, you fit them, like how long is the process from the time that you see your patient and to the time that it's finished? Like how long does that take? I want to see what Notes is and Chris maybe with them in America compared to you that's actually making it.
Hey, if you've got a good patient, you start. I'm talking now when they first walk through the door. They've never had a prosthetic before. Then we start with the coning process. If we take the medical aids and stuff out of this whole picture, because they the ones taking so long. So from approval from the medical aid after coning has been done, it's 2 weeks. Then a patient walks. But I want to say the practice I'm working with now, we work in conjunction with a physiotherapist, with a biokineticist. We get them in for every single patient, first time patient, to give them exercises. We make follow up appointments so that the guy can start learning how to use his leg and stuff. When Note said, yeah, the guy who made his leg taught him to rub his leg, I was like, I wanted to put my fist down my throat. I can't believe it. He must teach you how to walk. You need to get your proprioception back. We get the guy and we tap the leg on the medial side, the inside, outside, on the stump itself, and all that stuff. And I want you to tell me, where do you feel the tapping? Is it on your big toe, your heel? Is it here on your ankle? Because when you walk with a prosthetic, I want you to feel, if you bump your toe against a little rock or something, that you know it's your toe and it's not something on the side or you're stepping on a ball or something like that. Yeah.
so the thing that what he taught me was from the first day I was in there.
Yeah.
So I went in, they, because I'm on government medical aid back home, right?
Yes.
So they did all of my stuff before they actually worked with me to have it all ready for when my medical aid kicked in. So
Okay.
he was teaching me the stuff. I had a couple of appointments. They did all the digital imaging and everything like that. They send their stuff off to be made. They can do some of it in house, but he taught me all of that. And then they delivered my leg to me. I wore it for the first time. I wore it
They
home.
delivered it to you?
No, like I went to them. It's called delivering. You deliver the product to the
Oh, okay,
customer. It's
so
a
but
medical
you did
aid
go get it
term.
fitted and everything.
Yeah.
I your signal.
It's her
Was
signal.
it my signal? I'm sorry. Could you hear me or not? Okay. But he's actually on these two legs now. So Thursday I'm going in, I'm taking the legs back. At least he's got prosthetics at the moment. This is his refit. Because the stump lost so much volume in 6 months that he needs new prosthetics. So these are his new ones, the new shapes. And then from Thursday to, okay, I'm still off the weekend. So on Monday I tackle them. The resin and stuff takes about 24 hours to cure. And that's the whole thing of our occupation is time. Time takes so much of the patient away. If you could take the time factor out, I can have a patient in this morning and walking out this afternoon. But the plaster needs to cure. The time to vacuum mold these stuff, it takes about 2 hours to soften this plastic just to pull it over the plaster cast. And then if you put the resin on there, I have to fill that thing with plaster again, wait for it to dry nicely, and then I have to laminate it, and the resin takes 24 hours to cure, and I've got one laminating station. So I do one leg, and then I have to do the other one. So there's already 2 days gone just for the carbon fiber and the resin to fully
So your
cure.
testing socket, Nicholas,
Wow.
is the what you're showing for the testing socket there is actually what they do to put inside of my suction. So it's held in by a screw.
Okay.
So they do the
So it
testing.
can't come off.
So the testing socket you're showing is actually in my prosthetic, and they do that in house. It's the
Okay.
it's the carbon fiberglass that they for the socket, and then the construction of the foot and everything. They order all the pieces for the foot and the leg, and they put it all together there. They just have to order the stuff from a company to get all the pieces.
Yeah,
So
all that stuff from there to there.
yeah,
I ordered from Ossa. I know you get your stuff from Ohio Willowwood, if I remember correctly.
yeah, all my liners and stuff are from Willowwood, but they order the parts and put it together in the
In house.
in-house
Yeah.
because they would take my that testing socket and they would shave it accordingly. They'd mark it and everything and shave it accordingly to make sure that it fit me perfectly. Now, at one time when I had a wound on my stump, they actually carved out part of the some of the fiberglass or whatever, the silicone that it is, to make extra space for the wound because it had swollen a little bit. So to take pressure off of the wound some, and my wound healed faster that way.
Yeah, I can't zoom in on this picture now, but
Let me see if I can put you in the bigger box then.
if you look there past the carbon fiber, there's
Yep,
this little white edge there.
yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's actually coming off of the test, and then you laminate your carbon over that. And this whole carbon thing, you actually need the ears there at the top, you need at the back, you need a frame coming down to the adapter here at the bottom. And I'm pointing on I'm never seeing my fingers not moving there.
Yeah.
So you need a frame, so you can cut out holes there and all that stuff. So like notes are saying, if there's a pressure point, say for instance there, you cut it out and you make a hole there for the patient to.
So
Yes.
this section here, this cutout here, is to alleviate this scrunch for when you flex your knee. And
Yes.
then this is to protect your kneecap. And these are actually to keep to give your ligaments, like your MCL, your ACL, and everything, extra structure so you
Yes.
just don't fall left or right
You
and
have to
just
keep
tear
the joint
your,
safe.
yeah, so you don't tear your ligaments all through your joints.
Yeah, and you
So,
get,
and then if you come down here, this is not a release valve for air, this is a release valve to pull out the clear thing you see right there in his.
yeah,
If I unscrew this, I can actually pull it out, clean it off, clean it up, clean inside of my prosthetic, change the liner because the liner connects to that part, and then I put it back in and it screws back in.
yes,
So um, it's very nice. It's very sturdy. I usually keep a sock, which I took it off to show everybody the foot and everything, but I keep a sock over this, and it helps kind of keep. Uh, it's
the
not very
component to,
susceptible to dust and everything, but it actually I have an air tube that releases air here, and if
yes,
I have a sock on it, it it's less of a chance that anything's going to catch on
yeah,
that that tubing. So I
yeah,
used to catch stuff on it all the time, and it would tear the tubing, and I wouldn't know. And then I was wondering why I wasn't getting proper suction.
yeah.
So,
Candace, his foot there, like he says, the tubing, he's actually walking on active vacuum on his foot. So every time he takes a step, it makes a vacuum inside the socket to keep the stump safe inside the socket.
so it keeps suction to keep, like, you could literally, I've had someone drag me around by my leg as a test.
Yeah. So it's
Just
active
drag.
suction. Every step you take, it sucks a little bit more on the leg.
And when I walk, ugh,
What?
when I walk, say this is my foot, because I have that curve and then I have this part, I walk like this and it gives me like a spring forward, almost like your toes would do. But when I come back down to relieve the pressure off of my knee, it actually has a piece in the back that absorbs the energy from coming back. And so, but also if I walk upon a rock, my foot will tilt a little bit left and right to make sure that my balance is somewhat intact.
Yeah.
So my foot has almost like this motion to it. And it's pretty neat to feel that compared to what I've had. Um, but this casing is probably 30% smaller, 40% smaller than what I had before. At one point, I felt like I was carrying around a stone on my leg. It was so big.
Mm.
Uh, but as the stump retracts and gets smaller, then they change the casing. Once you have to put 8 to 9 in socks on your stump, then it's time to change the casing. Otherwise, you're going to lose suction. So,
Yeah, I changed it on 4 socks.
but when I came to South Africa the second time, I got this new leg, right? No, it was the third time. I got I got a new leg, but I had gotten it the day before I left, and I knew flying was going to make my stump swell. So I had to bring my second leg with me and use that on the plane until my swelling went down after I got off the plane and I could use the new leg. So it was pretty crazy,
Do
but
you do you, you don't wear compression socks, no?
I wear stump shrinkers when I don't have my leg on.
Yeah, yeah. No, if you get onto a flight, I always tell the people, sometimes I just give them a normal a below knee compression stocking to just pull over the stump, just, how can I say, about 10-15 centimeters above the knee, just to keep that compression, because it's also help with
Yeah, I have
circulation.
these I have these stump shrinkers that are compression, and they're very comfortable, and they have little grooves for the fingers on the sides to pull them up to make sure that you're fitted all the way up, and it comes about 10 or 12 centimeters above my knee.
Yeah, no,
But I
that's,
also wear them when I sleep because when you sleep you gain water weight if you don't wear the stump shrinkers.
My
So
chair's now broken here.
maybe you need to give it a
Yeah, you're
prosthetic.
rocking on your chair. Hmm.
You need to fix
But
it a
now
new
I
leg.
just, you know, you know, when when I had surgery on my ankle and they had that, like they put you in a back slab. So that flippin' back slab was so uncomfortable. I landed up getting a pressure sore. And I kept saying to them, listen, it is flippin' painful. There is something happening in there. And they kept saying to me, no, it's fine. You don't, it's meant to be uncomfortable. Yada. I said, no, 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 no. This is next level. And it turns out there was a bump. And that little flippin' bump was caused it, like the doctor, when the doctor eventually saw me, he said to me, Candice, if you didn't come in today, you would probably have lost your leg very, very, very soon. And here I am thinking that I'm being over dramatic and being told, no, man, it's fine. No,
A
literally
nurse told you you're
overnight.
fine.
Pardon?
A nurse told you you're fine.
You know how I tune, eh? You must know. Because I'm not a fan of this nurse either. Because she claims she was a sister, except she used to work for my mom. So I know that my mom is a sister and she is not.
Yeah, my
So
mom is
I
also a
was,
sister. She's got two.
yes.
She's got a brother and other two sisters also.
Let me tell you what happened to
Oh,
me
man.
with this left
Yarr.
foot, right? To where I had to have the transmetatarsal. So when I flew into Houston in Texas and immediately went from the plane into an ambulance to the hospital. The infection was that bad. I was literally about to
That's the
pass out.
thing.
So I go into the hospital. The doctor comes in and sees me and says, I can save your toes. I just need to take this one next to where your big toe was. And I told him, I said, no, just do a transmetatarsal or take the toes. I said, because I can't feel them anyway. Right. And he says, but if I can save the toes, I'm going to. So I let him do it his way. And then I went for wound care afterwards at that place, at his office. He was a podiatrist. And he kept doing it, kept doing the wound care. And then we applied for um, these skin grafts that have stem cells in them to help it heal faster. And I got approved, but then I had to move from Texas to South Carolina. So it took me 2 weeks to get into wound care in South Carolina. As soon as I did, I go in for my first visit. Now, granted, I was taking care of it the same way I was before, but I go in, and you know what the doctor does? He takes tweezers, he goes into the wound, and he starts pulling out pieces of bone. And he goes, "Well, this shouldn't have happened in 2 weeks." He goes, "This has been here for 2 months." So he never got rid of the bone infection. He cut a shortcut in order to try and get the stem cell grafts so he could get more money from the insurance
Were you
instead
were
of
you were you at a real doctor the second time?
the first doctor was a real podiatrist, but the second doctor was a wound care doctor.
Okay.
It's your face.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no offense. I think podiatrists do awesome work, but when occupation starts dabbing into other people's work, that's where stuff goes wrong.
So I am very, very well versed in my diabetes, my thyroidism, my ulcerative colitis, those types of things, right? I'm very tuned into it. I do my own research. I make my doctors explain uh, in layman's terms and medical terms. But
Yeah, you
I
can hear that you're very well versed.
Yeah.
I
Like,
knew
you
from the
know.
beginning when the podiatrist was like, "We're going to do it this way." I spent 2 months I spent a month in a nursing home after the surgery. Um, on listen to this. You ready? I was on intravenous antibiotics that they give in the hospital when they're trying to fight the bone infection to keep it back. But they never did an MRI after my surgery to check and see if I still had bone infection, which I requested 7 times, even when I was in the nursing home. And they
My
never did.
my thing is just, I see patients and I can see them up to a point where as soon as I start feeling, listen, this starts going over to an orthopedic surgeon or a general surgeon or something like that. I would rather refer a patient to a specialist in that field. Ne? I know a podiatrist they work on feet and stuff, but if you get to a point where you want to cut off a person's foot, send them for an orthopedic surgeon.
Well, do you
Yeah, I
know
didn't know that podiatrists could authorize
I
things
don't
like
think
that.
in South Africa they do that.
in
Ne?
America he's got a degree in podiatry and podiatric surgery. So
That's
but my
for
podi
foot warts.
but my no, this was a new podiatrist. The podiatrist that I had for years passed away. So um
How inconvenient.
Yes, no,
but it
dude.
was in
In
but
South
the thing
Africa,
is,
you
Notes,
see a
just
lot of.
move here permanently, Notes, because clearly South Africa is one up.
do you
Like,
want to no, listen, do you want to know how I lost my right leg below the knee?
From
Because Nick's going to love
yeah.
this. No. I had to go to the emergency room because I had an infection in the archway of my foot. It was a tissue infection from a diabetic wound, a blister. The blister was healing over, but drainage was still going under the skin into the arch of my foot.
Yes,
So
we
I
see it a lot, ne?
so I go into the emergency room knowing that something is wrong, and the triage nurse looks at me and goes, "Yeah, we can see this infection growing in your foot. It's warm. It's feverish to the touch." Now I had all 7 of my surgeries done there before. Anything to do with my foot, I had it done there. So they know my history. They know my diabetic history. I'd been in there for DKA multiple times. So an hour
That's what we're
later,
doing.
I go up to the nurse and I say, "I'm feverish myself," right? In an hour. Now my fever usually stays in Fahrenheit. It usually stays around 97.5 to 98, which is a little bit lower than normal because of my thyroid. In Fahrenheit, it's 98.6. But in an hour, it had went from 97.9 to 99.9, right?
Yeah.
And which is not good in an hour. So I went to the nurse and said, "Will you check my temperature again? I feel feverish." She checked my temperature and she goes, "You're 99.9." I said, "Yeah, but that's 2 degrees in an hour." I said, "That's not normal." I said, and she said, "But it's not a legal fever." And I looked at her and I go, "There's no,"
It's not a legal fever.
I said, "There's no effing such thing." I said the full curse word though, as a legal fever.
The kids are in bed, though.
Nee,
Um,
jy moenie in my life vloek nie.
so
Luckily,
I
I
ended
spoke
up,
English tonight. I
li-
don't know any
listen,
complex curse words.
listen, because I didn't have medical aid at the time, my government medical aid hadn't kicked in yet. They left me in the emergency room for another 9 hours in the waiting room. By the time they got me back, there was gangrene in the tissue and in the wound itself. So what they did is they cut the infected tissue out, checked me for bone infection. When there wasn't bone infection, they cleaned up the smaller wound and then cut the tissue out. Well, my body healing couldn't handle that at the same time. So a week and a half later, I go to wound care. They look at my foot and they go, "Well, this isn't good." So they send me, now this is the same hospital's wound care center, sends me back to the emergency room, puts me in and uh,
Oops.
goes, goes, his foot's infected. 13 hours later, they put me in a room. But I
You
was
know,
already admitted because they served me dinner in the emergency room, which you only get if you're admitted. So they
No.
could have had me on IV antibiotics the first time and the second time to
you
help
know,
slow the spread. So I had surgery, and the doctor comes in and goes, I think I can save your foot with a modified Liz Frank. And I said,
leaf spring.
Liz Frank, it's a type of
Yeah,
surgery
let's
where,
say, yeah, through the foot.
so I said, if you think you can save it, and he was honest with me. He said it's probably a 25-30%
Wow.
chance. So I let him do the surgery. In another week and a half, my foot smelled like rotten hamburger meat and it looked like it too. So I had to have the below the knee surgery. So that's when an orthopedic surgeon came in and did the surgery. So in a month and a half, or in a month, I had 3 surgeries. The third one my uh, took my below the took my leg below the knee. The thing is, if they would have just put me on IV antibiotics after that first hour sitting in the emergency room when they served me dinner, they could have saved my whole leg.
That is insane,
And
Notes.
and all they have are private hospitals other than the VA in America. But all they're about is money. If they can't collect it, they don't help you.
My question
Yeah, it
is,
did.
what happened to do no harm?
They have a thing. I don't know if
Yeah,
they have it in South Africa, but they have it in America. It's called the Hippocratic Oath.
The eed van Hippocrates.
yeah.
And so it reads basically that we will take care of this is my patient. I care more about them than anything. This is my vow, my oath to take care of them. It sits in every hospital, in every doctor's office. And you know what? It's hypocritical because it's called a Hippocratic Oath and they don't follow it. It should just
And
say
that's exactly what Nicolaas just said.
they should give me money.
That's what
That's
he
what it
just
should
said.
say. Give me money or we won't treat you.
Um,
I
I'm
can't
gonna, I'm
believe
gonna,
that though.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, né? And I'm sorry. At we in the medical profession, we also need to get paid, get salaries. I'm in this occupation of making legs, and you know how much it costs, né? So there's this leg here. I think it's 240,000 rand. The componentry standing there. So it's a lot of money, and we also need to know that we're gonna get paid. But that's why we try to go the extra mile because it's so much money to help the patient with a biokineticist, with a physiotherapist. They can come in anytime. Né? They can phone me 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock, I'll be at work to help them so that this guy can be at work without pain, without the problem. Né?
Let, let
Because
me,
we know it's a lot of money. But now my mom was also admitted to casualty. No, yeah, my mom. We had to pay, I think it was almost 30,000 rand before they sent her to x-rays for a sonar because it's too late. They can't get approval from the medical aid. Why? If
so
she,
let me
if she dies there on the bed, is that 30,000 rand gonna wipe your ass or what? I want my money back then.
so
I
here's the
need to
thing.
pay a lawyer.
I will speak about the first prostitution I had, right? And then I'll
Prostitution.
speak the second one that I had. The first one when I got my first leg, they put me they put me in appointments and got me all suited up and ready to go. When my medical aid went live, that day they delivered my leg. So they didn't care about the money. But not only that, it only paid 80%. So they discounted my leg. That
You also do it.
portion I had was 4,000 American dollars. They discounted my
Wow.
leg 3,000 American dollars, and my two of my uncles that are like brothers to me, they're twins. My brother and my dad all pitched in for the other 1,000. This was not long after I lost my son. So I was still reeling from getting disability grant and all that. But
You
I'll
say
say
your
this:
leg was $80,000. 80.
no, no, it was my remaining portion was 4,000.
No, no, no.
But what was the whole thing?
The first leg,
How much was
uh,
the total without a medical? Do you know how much it would have cost you if you didn't have medical aid?
yeah, it would have been about $20,000.
That's about the same amount.
That's about the same, yeah.
Okay, so so the thing is also is that Medicare, which is the government subsidiary over government medical aid,
Yeah.
they name the price that they will pay for the parts.
Yeah.
The people doing the leg don't get to name the price for it because it's a government entity.
In South Africa, the whole system is like that. The
But the
medical aids determine the price of all the products.
but the government's much less than a private medical aid company, is what I'm saying. And they still discounted the leg to make sure that I could get it. They cut into their profit to take care of me,
We
right?
also we
Yeah,
also
but
do.
also because they felt bad that they were giving you such horrendous freaking medical service.
No, the
That's the
company
other
that
part.
did my leg are not connected with the hospital that caused it
Oh, well,
whatsoever.
We
then you just but then maybe they felt sorry for you.
we
Because I
only
would.
supply crutches and moon boots and arm slings to casualty, and we know the people. Sometimes we give them a full fat coke, and that's all.
So
Not a lot of this.
they upgraded me to the activity 5 leg that I have,
Mm.
right? But because I had a secondary government insurance, it covered the remaining cost. So they went all out. But this leg that I'm wearing now is about between 35 and 40,000 American dollars.
Oh my word. Thank you for the follow. Okay, but
So
now, um, how in South Africa, how much do say like your best medical aid? Okay. How much does the medical aid then pay for something like that?
The best medical aids pay in full, and
Which one is the best one?
it all depends.
Fed Health.
No,
Okay, I'm on PolMed.
Paul, mate, are you a police
Marine.
lady?
No. Hello, Brandon.
Well, no, this guy's also most like in the special forces. So, okay, but it was an IOD. This is injury on duty. But
Yes, is that the one that you told me about?
yeah,
Please tell Notes and the people here in the comments.
this guy is actually in the South African Special Forces. So, and this leg works for him. So I must say, and he's been
Nicholas,
an amputee for yes
Just
7 years.
tell them how.
an IED, that explains it all.
No, he was drunk and he stepped in a nail. No, I'm lying.
Uh, so
No,
can I
he
tell you,
actually.
I have to go soon, but I want to tell Nicholas a quick story.
No,
So
he injured his back. Ne?
mhm.
The injury on duty was he injured his back. Then he went down to Cape Town or whatever, where the neurosurgeon for injury on duty is. Ne? And he lost feeling his one leg, and then eventually, the same as diabetics, blood flow. And eventually they had to amputate. Oh, yeah, no. And he's a Springbok fisherman. He's actually this weekend is going on a. He phoned me this morning. He wants to know where is his foot. So we got him another foot.
So the first prostitution I had, his name is oh my God, I can't remember.
No
So
names. Maybe I know him.
he's he's a great dude. They're a 5 generation company. So but but he made prosthetics so he could skydive.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy skydives. Not only that, he also had someone from another country contact him about making him a leg, and I think it was from a South American country. So he had ties to nefarious activity, and he wanted to pay him in cash, and
Which
he
country is
decided
this?
Now you want to know.
it's a South American country. I don't remember the exact story, maybe Colombia or something like that.
Yeah, but there's
Some
about
dodgy
4 of
country.
them. There's 4 of them close to the States that I can think of.
I think I think it was like Colombia or something like that, Venezuela, somewhere in there.
Did the guy fetch his leg in a homemade submarine?
I don't know.
That's how
didn't
the
make it for him.
Colombians smuggle their stuff. It's homemade submarines that they.
He refused to make the prosthetic because the guy wanted to pay him in cash and he didn't know where the cash came from.
Och, jene, man. I'm busy watching Ozark.
What?
They're only looking into millions, not thousands.
They were smuggling in the prosthetic.
No, he didn't want to do it because he didn't know where the money, if it was clean money.
No, but
Because
what did you say about the submarine? Now I'm confused. Hello, Rudy. Hello,
No.
Drinks. Hello, Mona.
No, they smuggle most the how can I say, the baba puyer for the nose, ne?
Yeah.
The nasal sugars, they smuggle through homemade submarines with 2 guys in with like a bicycle pedal thingy with a propeller at the back in the
Are you
ocean.
for real?
I saw it on YouTube of the US Coast Guard catching like these people.
well, now a lot of the smuggling comes through the Texas border in Mexico. That's why the big thing was going on. Did you know that I think it was the end of 2024, in a 3-month period, over 600,000 illegal immigrants came through the Texas border in a certain section. But in those illegal immigrants were those of the I'll say tourist, but it's not tourist. It's a similar word variety.
A toerist.
Yep, tourists.
Hmm.
So that's what the big deal was about the border. It wasn't just about like Mexican and these Hispanic illegal immigrants. It was who was coming through with them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he declined to make the prosthetic because he didn't know if the money was clean or not, and it's a family business. And the last thing he wanted was the government breathing through his books when he helps people. You know what I mean? And he uses government medical aid. So then it would open him up to all kinds. It would keep him from helping people, basically. So he decided against making the prosthetic.
Yeah, I would have opened another company like plastic legs for free, ne?
What, to wash the money?
If the IRS comes to me, I can say it is plastic legs for free. Look at the name; it says it all, and you don't write that number in your book.
Can I tell y'all a secret about the IRS?
Yeah.
It's a
But
private
it's not going to be a
company.
secret if you say it on a TikTok live.
It's
Are
a
you one
private
of them?
company. It's a private company. It's not an actual government entity.
Yeah, then you can bribe them.
Hello, Chris. Oh my. Aardvarm.
If
I don't file
you
taxes.
if you're from South Africa, you know how to.
Hello.
It's you give them a streetwise 2 with R100 note there by the chips.
Okay, so anyone that's wanting a free plastic leg, just go do that because apparently it will work.
Arte will make one for you.
Absoluut.
Yeah. Thank you, Relene. I will
But
follow
I'll,
you back. Relene, I'm live on Mondays and Tuesdays, Fridays and
but Ninja,
Sundays. I will explain my lives in a minute.
what I was talking about with the that custom insole I showed you. It's
Yeah.
very thick. It's like 3 to 5 centimeters thick. So when you have a normal sole in your shoe, once it wears out and you're in it enough, uh, that sole is to keep your foot from touching the hard surface of the ground. So,
Like that now?
yeah, okay, that's a custom insole. But if you have
That's what they do, yeah.
a regular sole in your shoe is only so thick. So
Yeah.
after a couple of months, that sole wears down, and it's basically like your foot is hitting your plastic sole and into the ground. So you're having direct contact between a hard surface and your foot, and it's bruising and causing damage to your skin and right under your skin. That's what causes a blister.
Where
Blue
does this
material.
go? In your on
Inside your shoe.
You tear your insole
your
out.
good shoe, your good
Yeah,
foot.
yes, you tear your
Yeah.
insole out, you put the custom in, and it's thicker and it's softer, but it's more durable. So when my foot presses to the ground, it absorbs the shock of hitting the ground. It never touches the ground. And that's
This,
what caused.
oh, sorry, this top material I use, I don't know his insole, is Poron. It's a antimicrobial sheath, the material. So especially for diabetics who gets like a blister or something, because that can still happen with insoles like this. The antimicrobial helps to fight and make sure that that blister does not get infected.
Also, there are two types of blisters. There are rubbing blisters and there are impact blisters,
Yeah, the
right?
pressure impact.
So the pressure impact will generally cause, that's where you get a lot of like blood blisters from.
Yes.
So the rubbing blisters are the one that pull the skin off.
Yeah. But now, sorry, I just want to explain to Candace here. You see there in the middle, there's still a bump and whatever, ne? We still,
Yeah, is that the instep?
yeah, we take an imprint like those feet I showed you. Let me just see here. The mold we make like this is we try to
Yes.
keep the foot as normal as possible. There we just made a metatarsal pad to press the metatarsal heads up. But we still work on pressure, but we try not to put extra pressure there. But everywhere where there's space, the foot can do this. So if I can put that insole in and I cover that whole area, then the foot moves with the shoe. And while like Note says, you can't get pressure like this or rubbing.
Yeah. Now, when I did with my ankle ops and with obviously I first had to have the back slab. So I had two operations, and are you doing that on purpose?
I'm trying to stay out of the picture.
Candace, quickly, um,
Yeah.
I must go now. I apologize.
Okay. No, no
So,
problem. It is 10 o'clock.
I
It is
want to
10 o'clock.
say
So that's
thank
all
you
good.
for having me. I will say
Thank you
that
for being here.
my doctors have quite a few of my doctors have been like, you should go and get some kind of certification for diabetes and stuff like that. I'm too old for that
Yeah.
crap. I'm too old for that crap. I do want to go. I would like to go to MITS in order to get a certification in grief counseling, and
Yeah.
like that.
To where?
Mainly
To what?
because once you get your certification, you're required to do a year in South Africa after you do. So it would make me stay here longer. But I want to eventually do a practice like that to a grief counseling for people who don't have the medical aid to get those things taken care of. And yeah, So
They
That's
can come talk to
awesome.
me. I need friends.
you'll have to
Yeah.
message me your address where you're at, and I'll come visit you, Nicholas.
He's
Oh,
right by you.
yo, Thabo Mbeki is like 3-4 streets from me. Okay, but Thabo
Can I
Mbeki
can I
is...
can I give one another your numbers?
I'll message him on the app. I'll DM him. We are friends.
You know I can just send you Notes' number.
Okay, you can do that. You just want to send
I'm
me
just
messages.
asking
That's all you want to
permission.
do.
Of course.
Yeah.
So,
You
Well
keep me
done,
up at
Chris.
night. You keep me
but
up at night.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
so no problem, Notes. That's cool. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Lots and lots.
no problem.
I am at the moment I am short of a brand manager and a social media marketer and editor. So this will be up as soon as I can get to it.
Chris, y'all. So the one thing I will say
No.
before I go, if you are the type of person that goes into an airport bathroom or any type of bathroom that has a disabled stall, and you take that stall, I will beat on the door with my prosthetic until you come out. If you are not in some way disabled.
Mwah. God bless. Love you all. Be safe. Love you.